And I think the motion, Nancy did say 5 minutes?
Yes.
Okay. You have 5 minutes, Mr. Long.
Thank you. My name is Jim Long. I'm president of the Mattawamon Watershed Society. I'm not really prepared to go into detail tonight because this is a total surprise to me that I have this opportunity to speak. And I think those of you on the board that have heard me before know I do my homework and I generally can get into great detail, and I won't be able to do that tonight. I won't repeat all of the reasons that I gave on August 8th, why Mattawamon Watershed, why should somebody who's concerned about land that drains to Mattawamon be concerned about Nanjemoy? There are adjacent watersheds and they do interact biologically. I will tell you that Nanjemoy is famous within resource agencies. They refer to it fondly as Chuck's Nose. Because it has such high biodiversity, it is so important, and it will eventually be quite a tourist attraction if we don't damage it. I do agree with those who have spoken tonight. I'm not sure legally if this should be on the agenda tonight, Washington's discovery, because the one interpretation, according to state case law, is that the motion to defer failed. This is a leapfrog development. It really is in the middle of nowhere from a development perspective. And I would like to address one thing I don't think I have heard discussed, and that is the road width of Adams-Willett Road. It is a very, very narrow road. In many places, and most of it, its length, or much of its length, it is only 16 feet wide. County code requires that it should be 22 feet wide in order to accommodate a major subdivision. The code is written in a way, it's not just the rules of this commission that need to be revamped. The code of the entire county over years has been written in a way to bend over backwards for development. And so evidently there's a loophole in the code that says that the developer doesn't have to be responsible for bringing that road, it's only 16 feet wide, up to 22 feet wide. He's not responsible if it's not considered feasible. That's a loophole. As I understand it, that loophole has been exercised in this particular case. You heard Mr. Mudd talk about how the intersection analysis, that's another problem with the county code. If you look at the adequate public facilities, it says that its goal is for public safety. You will not find safety anywhere in the code for the most part when it comes to analyzing the traffic impacts of a development. You only look at the backup of intersections. You heard Linda Redding tonight. She submitted 240 petitions from people who there were. I think they sold out. They sold out. The Indian Head 100. It's a 100-mile race, or rather, not a race. It's a tour. It's a tourist attraction to Charles County. It draws 1,000 people at a crack, and they were very concerned because they're on these rural roads. This road is too narrow to accommodate 2 cars and a bicycle. It's no way. It's too narrow. The code says it should be 22 feet, yet somehow we're able to, say it's not feasible. The environment. But I will point out that the Planning Commission does have some discretion. Maybe you would decide it's feasible to widen the road. I'm going to run out of time here very quickly. The environmental issues, of course, are rather complex. This is in an area with forced interior dwelling birds. This is part of this reason that the resource agencies really are very fond of Nanjemoy because of its biodiversity. It is in a 2-tier watershed. What does that mean? That means that the waters to which it drains are unusually high quality, and they're supposed to be. You're supposed to apply greater concern whether or not you permit something. These will add septic tanks more than you would think, because much of the property evidently it doesn't perk, from what I've heard. I don't know that for certain, but there's some reason why they have to do this combined of conventional and clustered in order to get the full 33 units for 100 acres. That's going to add more load from the septics. It's going to allow more runoff. A federally endangered dwarf mussel is a big deal. How many federally endangered species do we have in Charles County? I think this
Mr.
may
Long,
be the
please
only
summarize.
one. And when I know that for many folks, when I talk about a federally endangered species, that it's a mussel, it lives in the water, it cannot survive sediment that may not move you. But bear in mind, the biologists have told me Madwoman Creek will never, ever have a dwarf mussel in it. It can't survive there. It does survive in Nanjemoy. And do you want to start permitting leapfrog developments that are inconsistent with the new comprehensive plan, inconsistent with the tiers? Is that really what you want to do? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Long.